So Stephan, nice to meet you in person.
Good to meet you.
So we actually had a digital podcast with Stephan a few weeks back, so it's great to meet you in person. But how are you finding the Investor Summit so far?
Well, I think it's super interesting that you gather so many people from all over the world here in Lisbon. It's a side event to the Web Summit, but it's super vibrant and good panels. So, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks very much. So I know we spoke a little bit about your investment thesis, Indico Capital, but it'd be great just to hear a little bit more about that and kind of where you see a lot of your investments going. It'd be great to understand.
Yes, currently we have 5 funds going into fund number 6 shortly, and 220 million in the management. We've focused at the beginning of Indico. We focused primarily in Portuguese opportunities. That included also Portuguese diaspora. And in the more recent funds, we have broadened our exposure to Spain and Italy. We've also broadened the categories of investments we do. So we launched a blue fund for ocean sustainability related investments. And we've done from satellites to renewables to aquaculture in that fund and new materials. But the core is still B2B SaaS. Of course, now you call it AI. There's a sort of AI layer into it, but it's B2B SaaS, and it's increasingly Portugal, Spain, and Italy, and it's diaspora in the UK and particularly in the US. There's lack of capital in south of Europe. There's a lot of talent, particularly on the technical side. There's increasingly a lot of talent also on the sales and marketing, also because so many foreign talent is coming to our region of Europe. And so I think it's a great place to launch, and it's a great place to sort of has a base to conquer the rest of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually moved to Portugal. We're in Lisbon right now. I actually moved to Portugal about a year ago from Australia, and it's amazing. I love it. It's well priced, good weather.
Very cosmopolitan, right? Very
Infrastructure
welcoming.
is amazing. It'd be interesting to hear more about your blue fund, because I know Indico Capital, that's named after an ocean, right?
That's right, the Indian Ocean.
Indian Ocean. So all of you in the team have some sort of connection to the ocean.
Yes.
So it'd be interesting to hear a little bit more about the sorts of things, because obviously everyone hears about sustainability and green, but people don't really hear about blue, right? So it'd be great to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, the story behind the Blue Fund was not only that we were called Indico, which is Indian Ocean, that will surfers, swimmers, and sailors and divers, but essentially that we thought there was an opportunity to invest with a theme connected to sustainability. In this case, we are PRI, Principles for Responsible Investment, sort of signatories and members from the start of Indico, but we also decided to adopt, in a way, SDG 14, Life Below Water, has a theme that would connect all these investments. So we have things from software, satellites, new biomaterials, industrial marine biotech, aquaculture, and lots of technologies around aquaculture, and with renewables, maritime renewables, and so on, and even clean water technology, which are all things that contribute to the sustainability of the water sources, of the water in the oceans, and of the life in the oceans. So it is not necessarily an impact fund, because for you to be considered an impact fund, you need to sort of comply with certain KPIs and so on and so forth, which in Europe are very, very strict. But it's what we call an Article 8 fund. So we have KPIs, we have all the sort of the decision-making process takes into account the impact. And we have LPs from all over the world, sort of investors from all over the world in that fund, and it's been amazing because one day you're doing alternative protein, the other day you're sort of using seaweed to produce new cosmetics and new materials.
Awesome. And Portugal is a really exciting place for business. And I think I saw a LinkedIn post of yours. Was it a week ago? You met up with, was it the mayor or some sort of...
Well, actually, we met up. I think you're referring to the meeting we had with the Prime Minister, a group of 10 so-called experts in AI, trying to help the government devise a strategy on how to leverage AI for the benefit of the state and for the benefit of the companies, of the population, obviously. And you don't really need to be at the forefront of AI to actually use it for the better of public services and to incentivize companies to adopt it to become more competitive, right? And so I think it was a very good initiative from government and from the Prime Minister. And they just announced this week, actually at the beginning, at the launch of the Web Summit, that there will be a Portuguese LLM, that there will be Portuguese tutoring for
Portuguese LLM.
a Portuguese LLM. Because the thing is, the future of culture and the future of language will be dominated partially by AI, right? Who do you ask the questions to? You ask it to ChatGPT or Mistral or Claude from Anthropic. And if all they know is US answers and US culture and English language,
Wow.
you're sort of losing out a big part of the world's culture. So ultimately, every country and every culture should have its own large language model with all its culture embedded in there. And so I think it was a super positive initiative from the government. But there's so much you can do, in terms of cutting bureaucracy, in having more efficient reply to the citizens, and for companies just to become more efficient. And so I think it was a very welcome initiative from government, and we are very happy to be able to contribute with our ideas and our initiative as well.
That's awesome. And what kind of help are you looking for, or people are you looking to meet? Like, what kind of people are you here to meet? Founders, investors, like?
Well, I think, our work is divided into fundraising for funds. And so, these types of events, the Web Summit and this summit are obviously important to meet potential investors in our funds. The second one is obviously finding good potential portfolio companies. And so it's been a successful week in that sense as well. And thirdly, and I'd say actually what we benefited more from Web Summit and the Investors Summit has this one, is finding co-investors. So we're always looking to co-invest. We normally lead or co-lead our rounds, but we're always happy to bring others on board. And with the influx of foreign capital and foreign investors into Portugal, we're very happy to accommodate and to find people to sort of help us grow the companies and take over the world in whatever little area they have or vertical that these companies have chosen. So fundraising, finding portfolio companies, and finding co-investors, that's basically what we do in these sort of events.
And what's your minimum check size?
To invest in the fund?
Yeah.
So it's basically 250,000 euros. That's normally the minimum. So we have investors from 250 up to, I think, 50 million per fund. And there's one of the funds that has one investor that put in 50 million. So anything in that range, that's very welcome.
Awesome. Well, Stephan, I know you're a busy guy. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you
Best
for
of luck.
having me.
I know you got a keynote at some point today, but yeah, thanks so much.